So welcome to the match. Deep Fritz 14 versus Deep HIARCS 13.2, and let's see what Deep HIARCS is coming up with here in this position. The eval is slightly better for white still, but let's see if HIARCS can switch this around or can hold a draw here. So let's see. H4 is the move HIARCS is calculating. Okay, first of all, I let them play this opening position, which is a Caro-Kann position, and I let them play without opening book or table base. And this position arises after the moves E4, C6, so the Caro-Kann, the advanced variation, and yeah, some normal kind of play from both sides, and h4 is the first move calculated and has been played now. So let's see, h3 is what Fritz is calculating. H3 or a6. Let's go with a6. Let's say b4 or let's say b6 to maybe able to play c5 in the future, and then h6 because you have to prevent h6 from black. And yeah, this knight will stay here forever, and black has, I think, positionally speaking, no problems in that position at all. But white is also fine here, but how to crack black, that's the question. And let's see what Fritz is coming up with there. Fritz maybe playing the move h3. And then maybe castles. And preparing the move f6. So let's go with c4. f6. E takes f. Maybe even knight takes f6 to be able to jump into e5. E takes, and now knight e5 is coming. You can still not dislodge this knight because the bishop is still covering it. So let's try knight here, but then knight e5 takes, knight here, bishop takes knight, bishop takes, and queen takes, and black is up a piece. So knight here doesn't work. So the knight has to go back. So let's say knight goes here to add some pressure to this pawn. But here you can maybe push it. Yeah, I don't know if you can push it because the bishop is still eyeing that pawn. So it's not so advisable. But I have no idea what to play here for both sides. I'm not an expert in the Caro-Kann for both sides, but I just want to watch and give my opinions to it. And let's see how Deep Fritz is evaluating this position, giving it a slight edge for white, but giving it as equal, and prepares to move h3. Then castles, and now what? c4, or if you push that pawn so far, why not push it one step further? b3 to prevent any knight jump, or even b5 to prevent any c4 expansion. And now black is slowly but surely preparing the move f6. So maybe knight c2, f6, knight e3 takes, and knight takes here with an attack on the bishop. Or Knight takes here after this takes. Knight takes. Which knight to take? That's the question. Probably the other knight. Probably this knight. That you have scope for that bishop. Knight takes, knight takes, knight takes. Bishop goes back. And now maybe bishop here to add some pressure to this knight. Then maybe c5. And it's not that clear how to make progress here. Takes, takes, c3, takes, takes, and rook there. Caught up with rook there, and yeah, I see that white is a little bit better in that position, but black has at least the bishop pair, and no problems at all here to hold this. At least I don't think so. So this could be an option. Knight c1 to e3 to d3. But first of all, we have the move h3, and now queen c7 from Deep HIARCS. Instead of castling, queen c7, he is calculating. Queen c7. So what does this? Maybe HIARCS wants to castle queenside and prepare an attack on the king side by moving the bishop back and preparing the move g5. But okay, white is twice on that square, so it's not so easy to execute this plan. So queen c7, a6, b6, c4. This is what HIARCS is thinking about. c4 here. Yeah, maybe just ignoring it. Castling queenside, rook there. Rook there. Takes, takes. Yeah, but then you can push that one. And if you take there, then takes, takes. And maybe you have some sacrifices. But I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure about that at all. Queen here. Queen there and rook there. But then you get rook here, so you don't have some pawn sacrifice or rook sacrifice. Maybe this, but I don't think it works. But you can just maybe attack this even more. Then the queen goes back, and still bishop here, or not even the queen goes back. Well, okay, queen c2, the queen has to go back. And now also some discoveries are threatened. So, not sure if you can go for that. What about this? Just defending the bishop, preparing d6. Queen here loses that pawn. So it's not so easy. Maybe knight here, c6. Queen there, takes, takes. The knight is not attacked, so it's not so bad. This knight is covering the pawn and also attacking this one. So let's see what Fritz is coming up with. Bishop g5 is its plan. Instead of this continuation. This continuation looked logical to me, at least for white. But black doesn't have to castle queenside, so we are in this position. And queen d2 is the move which Fritz is thinking about queen d2 and castles. And let's again see both evaluations. Yeah, it should be slightly better for white, but not so much better. Let's see if we get queen d2, connecting rooks, defending the bishop. Fritz is taking its time. For queen d2, the line which Deep Fritz is giving is castles after queen d2. Castles rook f c1, rook f c8, so the game is on the queen side. Rook f c8 and c4 and queen d8 back, and then after queen d8 the move rook c1 c2, just trying to double up here, and the game is on the queen side. No kingside attack here in this Caro-Kann, at least not at the moment, so this is Fritz's line. Let's see what HIARCS has to say about this, and let's again see both evaluations. Fritz is on slight advantage for black, for white, and HIARCS is also on a slight advantage for white. So let's see how this continues. Queen d2 we have. I think HIARCS has some problems here. Yeah, HIARCS has some problems here, so I think Fritz will win easily. But let's see, HIARCS line is c5, knight takes c5, followed up with knight takes c5, d takes c5, and queen takes c5. This is HIARCS line. Wouldn't say this is bad though. Opening up a little bit the position for the bishop pair. So also preparing maybe rook to c8 to pressurize this pawn. Also maybe some knight moves are possible now. So it's white's move here. Let's defend the pawn. Let's attack the pawn. Let's push the pawn. Let's castle. Let's push this pawn. Let's go back. What have we gained? c4. King here. Takes, 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 and or not takes. Queen takes is better. After queen takes, pawn takes, it should still be an even position. But let's see if we really get c5 in that position. Knight takes, pawn takes, queen takes. Knight takes c5, d takes, queen takes, bishop d3 and castles. Bishop to d3 and castles. This is HIARCS line and has HIARCS still some problems. Yeah, some small problems. c4 after c5. Deep Fritz is calculating the move c4, which is also an option. So we have c5 on the board and now c4. Immediately trying to open up everything in the center. Both sides are trying to open up everything here. c4. What about pawn takes c5? Queen takes c5, pawn takes here. No, not queen takes c5. Of course, knight takes or d takes here. Followed up with pawn takes here. Rook there, attacking the queen. Or the other rook might want to go to the e-file. So rook here, attacking the queen. Queen goes back to d8. And yeah, this should now be better for white, much better. So okay. D takes c4 and pawn takes c5 with a discovered attack on the bishop. But you cannot hold on to that pawn. So let's see. Rook here, queen d8. And now knight takes here. Maybe knight takes, queen takes, and bishop c5 attacking the queen. No, bishop c5 is out of the question. So just castle, and it should be an even Steven position still. It shouldn't be so terrible for black. I'm not sure. Bishop here attacks the knight. The knight doesn't have many squares. Just this b8 square, then you could take the queen and go from there. Infiltrate, attacking the bishop. Rook here, defending the bishop. No, you cannot go the rook there. Maybe a3. And after takes, you can take there. But what about just moving the bishop back? Now you still have to move the bishop, right? And how many squares do you have? Actually only that one. And then this comes, c3 takes, takes, and still, yeah, this is very terrible here. This opening up the position is very terrible for black, because the problem is, yeah, what do you do with that knight after castles? What are you doing with that knight? So maybe castles is a mistake. Maybe even taking this knight is a mistake. Maybe you should castle instantly. After takes, bishop here, it's basically the same. Yeah, this knight just doesn't have squares where he can go to. So knight b8, queen takes, and now you have to go bishop takes. Probably prevent any rook to the 7th. And now knight here is gonna be played, so c6. Now you can take knight takes, bishop takes, pawn takes, rook takes, and this shouldn't be so bad. At least bishop here, and yeah. For example, this shouldn't be so bad for black. This kind of stuff. The knight retreats back and the bishop takes. Now this shouldn't be so bad. This is maybe survivable. Or even bishop to c3. And now black's position is fine. Black's position should be fine there. Although it looks interesting for white, but black's position should be fine if castle's in the right moment. So we have c4, d takes c4, bishop takes c4, and bishop h5 is what HIARCS is thinking. So instead of this, which black might only survive briefly, so d takes c4, bishop takes c4, and bishop h5 is the move here to threaten here some doubled pawns and eliminate one knight, one defender of the d pawn. If takes, still knight takes, bishop takes, and yeah, that's not so bad. Or bishop h5, if takes, there is takes here, takes there, knight takes, and bishop takes. And this might be bad for white, because of the open g file, and this structure around white's king is not the best. Rook can maybe go here and there at some point, or maybe you can push g5 and play the rook here and behind or something. It's also not so dangerous, but it's at least one idea. So after bishop h5, what can you do there as black? Bishop h5, bishop e2, and queen c6. This is the line HIARCS gives. Queen c6, followed by d takes c5, knight takes c5, and knight bd4, attacking the queen. Probably knight takes queen now. Knight takes d4, knight takes d4, and queen e4. Going after the bishop. Yeah, this isn't so bad for black. Bishop takes, rook takes, and now you can push g5 and ask the bishop what to do there. And also the rook is coming to the d file, attacking this knight, so this is not bad for black at all, at least I don't think so. So this is one option. What's bishop e2, queen c6, and what's Fritz's line? That's the question. Bishop h5 we have, bishop e2, queen c6, d takes c5, knight takes c5, knight bd3, knight takes c5 is the continuation of Fritz. Bishop takes c5 and b4 attacking the bishop. Okay, this is also logical. Bishop f2 and maybe even that one. Yeah, this Doesn't look so bad. Maybe queen d7 now to exchange queens. Queen takes, queen takes. Yeah, but also this is not so bad for black. If ever this comes, then this. But okay, let's push that. Taking that, pushing that, pushing that. Oh no, it doesn't work quite yet. But if the rook is on the c file, so let's say takes, g4. Try to make this work, but doesn't seem so. Okay, there is no castles, sadly. Maybe f6, but then takes. Another bishop is covering this square, so this works. If not for rook takes, so even there it doesn't work, because black can always take this with the rook, so it doesn't really matter what you do. This should end up in a draw, and you should probably take here with the bishop and prepare something like this, or prepare something like this, yeah, and go there, going after that pawn. So maybe here it's bad for black, but you don't have to do this. Okay, but just pushing the pawns is nice. Queen here, queen takes, king takes. Probably queen here is not the best, but it doesn't matter. If it stays on the c file, then the rook will come to the c file. If this, then yeah, let's just cover this line for a bit. King here, rook there, and now not capturing the knight, but playing rook g. Okay, we have a move here. We have rook g8 immediately. So we're currently at bishop h5, bishop e2, and now we have to move rook g8. So really going after this move g5. Now d5, g5, d takes e6, f takes e6, and knight takes g5. Knight takes g5. Bishop takes e2. Okay, this is a mess here on the position. Bishop takes e2. Knight takes here, attacking the queen. If the queen moves there, then you take the knight. Knight takes queen, and queen here check. I don't see this working. So you have to take the bishop immediately, but then you still lose the knight. What? And black is up a piece, so it's not so easy though. So knight takes e6, queen here. What about knight takes there? Knight takes, queen takes, bishop takes. Now you at least got three pawns for the piece, and black's king is still in the center. So this could be an option. So d5. d5, g5. Yeah, we have d5, g5, bishop h2, g5 and bishop h2. But after bishop h2, then g4 hits. So you have to do something here pretty fast. After that, maybe the queen just goes here, which is a beautiful square for the queen. Then you take there, takes, bishop takes. No, this is over. After takes, you can take with the queen and threaten mate. And if this, then just takes. This doesn't look right. Takes. Rook takes with check. Bishop takes. Queen takes with check. Queen here. Okay, here this defense though. So probably you should take the bishop with the bishop. And after this, takes, rook. No, here not rook takes. Here just knight takes. Bishop takes, rook takes, king here and rook there. Check, and you don't even win the bishop because it's protected by the queen, and this is dead lost. So HIARCS is really playing aggressive there. g5, bishop h2. What is the evaluation of both engines? Right around here. Yeah, it's still better for white, but this g5 is at least interesting. g5 we have, and now d takes e6. D takes e6 will most likely be played here, attacking the knight. So let's say you take the bishop, takes. You could also go for something like this, and now you have this g file for the rook to work with. But first of all, you have to go in the center. Yeah, this is just a mess. Just a mess. It's just a mess. It's such a messy position. I'm not sure what's going on after after d takes e6. Not sure what's going on there. So let me think a little bit. D takes e6, f takes e6, knight takes g5. F takes e6 and then knight takes e5. Bishop takes and then bishop takes. 3 versus 3, but then bishop takes bishop here. Queen takes and rook takes and black is winning. So this can't be the option. So, oh, I see. If bishop takes g5, then bishop takes there, so you have to go bishop takes, queen takes, bishop takes, queen here check, wins back the piece. So let's say king d8, king c8, and black is slowly but surely falling apart. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pawns versus 4 pawns, 2 pieces each, well, 4 pieces each. So you cannot really go for such an attack. It's just losing, I think. It's not just losing for black. g5 looks interesting, but I think it's not so good. And we have f takes e3. e3, e6. Yeah, it's opening up this diagonal. F takes e6, d takes e6, f takes e6, and let's see what HIARCS is thinking about that position now. Yeah, it's every move it's a little worse, so it's slowly but surely going downhill for black. But this g5 business is really nice. Here, what to do against this g5 business. And this position here, f takes e6, we have on the board, and now knight takes here. Bishop takes e2, bishop takes e2, bishop takes there, and queen h4. This is the problem, this check. Otherwise it's such a nice attack from black, but this check is just a problem in that position. So knight takes e5, and the whole king set has disappeared in a couple of moves. So bishop takes e2, queen takes e2, and then castling queenside is the idea. Yeah, but now you just got a lot of stuff hanging here, for example. Okay, this wasn't so good. I don't know. Takes, and rook here pins the queen, so you might even can take yet another pawn, and this is now really lost. So okay, what have we seen there? We have seen this c5 break. It's not so, how should I put it? It's not so dangerous. Just c4, and yeah, d takes c4, bishop takes c4, and bishop h5. It's just not so dangerous. Bishop e2, rook g8. Yeah, this d5 break is just strong, because maybe this was the idea. I don't know. Why not e takes d5? You could take it with the queen. And then d5. Knight takes d5. And if bishop takes here, then you get this stuff. So you have to take the knight. Now you lose the bishop, and if bishop takes f4, you lose this pawn again. So you kind of have to defend it. And this knight is very nicely controlled by the pawns. So let's say knight b8. So now the queen is covering this f7 pawn. Now just take. And pawn takes here. No. First of all, the bishop is now hanging. First of all, the bishop is now hanging. But okay, white's position is just better there, so this was another option. White could have done this, but black went for the immediate g5, and now d takes e6, f takes e6, knight takes here, bishop takes e2, queen takes e2, and now we have the move castles. So now the knight is threatened. So knight e4 most probably. Knight e4. Going for this check, or going for this pawn. So yeah, black's position is not very fine. We have 2-4-5 versus 2-4-6 pawns, so white is currently up a pawn with the better position. Still, the knight on f5 is very nicely placed, and the rook on the g file is also good, so HIARCS has some compensation, but not much. Knight e4, king b8, and rook f to d1. Rook f to d1, this is what HIARCS gives here in that position, and says it's +1 for white, so it's a clear edge. At e4, king b8, king h1 even gives every move the advantage grows for something like 0.10 points. So we have knight e4, and now rook g6 is calculated. Rook g6 with king h1 and queen c6. This is what Fritz is giving, queen c6. Now rook f1 to d1. Rook f1 to d1. Probably I will go here rook dg8. Rook ac1, sorry. Rook ac1. Something like this, and then rook g1. Followed up with queen to d5, attacking this knight. Yeah, but it's not so easy to break black's position here. This looks very much like counterplay to me. Here this doubled rooks on the g file against this poor g pawn, but after f3 it should be really clear that there is nothing going on against this g pawn, and now this knight is able to move probably into this d6 square with check, but you cannot play f6 yet because this knight is hanging, so you have to cover this knight first. So let's say you go queen here, but then you lose this knight, so it's not so easy. It's not so easy. Probably knight here, covering this knight again and doing stuff. So king h1, and now queen c6. And let's see Deep Fritz evaluation as well. Some plus 1.13, so should be able to win this. HIARCS has no problems anymore, but I think now it's too late for good chess, because Fritz is also playing good chess. Queen c6 is played. Rook ad1 is now, yeah, just taking away this square, this d5 square, and also adding more protection to this d6 square. Rook g8, there's nothing else to be done. Rook g1, and now what? Rook g8, rook g1, king b8, king h2. This is what? King h2, a6, or king b8, queen c2, or queen c2 here in that position, not queen t2, but queen c2, that position to add more pressure to this d6 pawn. So yeah, very interesting gameplay here. I make a short break and see you in a second. Ciao. Queen king b8 and queen c4 is the move Fritz is giving, followed up with king a8 and f3, and now nothing is going on there. Of course, instead of this, so king b8, queen c4, king a1, and f3. This is the line which is given by Deep Fritz. Queen c4, rook c8 now. One minute left for Deep Fritz versus 3 minutes 45, and we have to move queen c4. And now king a8 has been played, is been calculated. Also the move rook c8 or rook to g8. Rook g8, rook g1, a6. a6, just giving the move to white. What is white going to do there? Not sure if white is winning this position though. Although both engines are giving it as an advantage to white. And now knight h6. Or king a8, f3. king a8, f3, and rook g8 to c8. With that move now, f3 and rook g c8 is given by Fritz. Rook g8 c8. So instead of that move we had that move, and now that, and now rook c8. Yeah, for me this is just a complete mess on the position where white is up a pawn, but yeah, rook c8 we have, and now knight f6. Yeah, okay, of course, if you take that, then this comes with a discovered check, and if you take with the bishop, then still this is also discovered a check, winning the rook. So knight f6, you're twice on the knight, so probably bishop f8 or something, or bishop f8 is, I think, better. After this, this, the rook is covering the c-pawn, so that's why rook c8 was necessary. Knight df8. So knight f8 is the move here. Not even caring about stuff. Not taking this knight. But black is pushed back. It's been pushed back here. Rook here, and now knight there, check. Bishop takes, pawn takes, most probably. Or not even taking this. Not quite sure. Knight g6. Oh, okay, knight to g6, attacking the bishop. Bishop h2. Now knight g6, f8 back. Both engines are low on time now. Very low on time. Knight f6, e4. So a little bit of shuffling going on. Knight d7, bishop to g5, knight f8 to d7 will be played probably. And then bishop h4, f4, and we have the same kind of position. But now the knight is jumping in here, attacking the rook, bishop takes, pawn takes, and now this pawn is also falling. And now it's gone. Now black's position is falling apart, falling to pieces. It's over. It's over, Mesdames et Messieurs, it's over. Oh, you don't even take the bishop, you take here. Now the bishop and the knight is hanging. Rook cf8. No, just rook cf8, or we had knight here and queen takes knight, and now bishop to e7 and d6 probably with check. And this light dark square bishop is springing to life here, and I think it's all over. Bishop e7, e6 check, king a8, and queen d5. 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pawns. So white won yet another pawn. So don't fear the c5 break in the Caro-Kann, and it's not so strong either. So instead of the c5 break, let's see how this game could have continued. King a8 and queen d5 followed up with a6. Followed up with a6 here. And yeah. In ancient terms, this is 1 now for Deep Fritz. So I will adjust this game now as a win for Fritz against HIARCS. And this is a major victory. So let's ask Fritz where HIARCS went wrong in that game. So put HIARCS away. This is the first thing I'm gonna do. Deep HIARCS, and let's load Fritz here. So e4, so something like this. This was all given to them at f4 and bishop f4. Here castles is h6 is still okay. Bishop here, queen d2, c5. Instead of c5, this is, I think, not the greatest move, just castles. What about castling queenside? What about castling queenside? New variation, so let's see, yeah, castling queenside is because of a6 not so great. b6 or b5. Let's go with b5 to prevent any c4. But then c3. Bishop h5. King here. Knight here. It's not so clear though. This could most definitely be a interesting game as well. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is much better for white here. Black has some place, so castling queenside might be an option. Rook fc1. Rook ac1, c4, d takes, rook takes, and rook d8. This is, yeah, you can play like that. Bishop here, knight there, knight a6, bishop takes knight, bishop takes knight, bishop takes here, bishop here threatening the knight. Yeah, this should also be better for white. So, but let's put this back a little bit. What was the mistake? Bishop here. Now f6 should be played. E takes f6, knight takes f6, and bishop to d3, followed up with rook to d5. So, yeah, the Caro-Kann is playable, but yeah, it's hard. Against an engine, it's very hard. So c5 is not the major move here. But what I have learned in this Caro-Kann session is that you have to be patient. You cannot crack this very fast. Here, this is a nice move. This d5, this is the only move which keeps the advantage. No, there is only also bishop f4 to b2. What? d5 or bishop h2. Just a waiting move. And how many moves are there which are advantageous? Yeah, only those two, or maybe three moves. Yeah, it's a better position for white in a lot of cases, but not much better. Okay, bishop h2 or d5. In the game we had to move d5, and yeah, this kind of stuff. And here I adjusted it, because queen c2, game might continue with queen c2, rook g1 and f4. And yeah, it's just 3 pawns, you know? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 4. It's just 4 pawns and they are connected. And it's not only that white has 2 extra pawns, it's also the position which is much better for white, so that's why I adjusted it as a win for white. So thanks for watching and